Liverpool have suffered a huge injury with Alisson out for up to 6 weeks. Liverpool fans are absolutely gutted. It's an absolute gut punch, and it probably couldn't come at a worse time when you look at Liverpool's fixtures after the international break, with Bayer Leverkusen, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Manchester City, and Arsenal all to come. But I'm going to tell you why they've got the perfect replacement in Kelleher and why Liverpool fans should not panic. When this guy has stepped in to cover Alison, the performance levels haven't dropped one bit. He is a very good goalkeeper. And I'm just going to explain to you why I think Liverpool should be somewhat semi-confident of going into their fixtures after the international break. Make sure you go down, drop a like if you haven't already. If we could hit 300 likes, that would be absolutely glorious. And we are steamrolling our way towards 30,000 subscribers. We are less than 250 away from 28,000. So let me know your thoughts down below. Now, Fabrizio Romano broke the news yesterday, I think it was. And it says Liverpool goalkeeper Alison to miss around 6 weeks after new tests results confirmed a hamstring injury as expected. Alison will not return after the international break in mid-November. Big blow for the Reds. So if he is to miss the fixtures until the November international break, which is roughly 5 weeks away, I believe, could be 4 weeks away, he would miss Chelsea, Leipzig, Liverpool, Brighton, Leverkusen, and Aston Villa. Fortunately for Liverpool, he would be fully fit, back again, you would imagine, for the Real Madrid game and Manchester City. Fortunately for Liverpool, both those games are at Anfield, and we know what Champions League nights are like at Anfield. I actually think at present Liverpool could beat Real Madrid. But let's look at these games. So Chelsea, Liverpool will go into that game as clear favourites without Alisson Becker. Kelleher is a very good goalkeeper. I actually think Kelleher and Moreno from Manchester City are more than good enough to be number ones at other football clubs. Kelleher's 25 years of age. He's arguably one of the best number twos in world football right now. He's valued at around £20 million. He's only made one appearance so far, I think, in the Premier League this season, or one appearance this season. I think that was against West Ham, where they won 5-1. In terms of his stats, though, overall, he's a good goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper. He's made 49 appearances for Liverpool, and I think he's kept 16 clean sheets, which is a very good return. Now, let's talk about these games. Chelsea, Leipzig, Arsenal. That is 3 big games back-to-back. RB Leipzig at the moment have had a very good start to the Bundesliga. Chelsea, of course, very good start to the Premier League. I think Leipzig currently sits second. They're only goal difference behind Bayern Munich. And Arsenal will be a huge test. But I don't think, like, everyone's losing their mind over this. I actually think it's a blessing in disguise if you're Kelleher, but he is the perfect replacement. You know, I don't think there was a huge amount of drop-off. If you think back to, it wasn't last season, it was the season before, I think, where Kelleher actually played more Premier League games that season than Alisson did. It is a bit of a gut punch. You know, Van Dijk come out after the game against Crystal Palace and said on the just after the game last weekend that he felt hamstring. Alisson did actually pull his hamstring, but I think they're in safe hands. No pun intended. When I look at Liverpool going forward this season, they've been very strong, but it's their defence which has been even stronger. Clean sheet against Crystal Palace, clean sheet against Bologna, clean sheet against Bournemouth, clean sheet against Brentford, clean sheet against Man United, clean sheet against Ipswich Town. They have only conceded 2 goals in the Premier League, and I don't think that's going to change with Kelleher being in the net. They've had a very good start to the season. They currently sit top of the Premier League. They've had a good start to the Champions League as well, you know, where they've won both their games against both Italian oppositions, AC Milan at the San Siro, and of course beating Bologna at Anfield. They're the fourth highest top goal scorers in the league, behind City, Arsenal, and Chelsea, the 3 teams below them. But look how much stronger their defence is. they've conceded a quarter the amount of goals Manchester City and Chelsea have conceded. They've conceded 2 goals, whereas Chelsea, Arsenal, and City have all conceded a lot more goals. Their goal difference is better. They've won more games than all of those teams, albeit they had a slip up against Nottingham Forest. But I think Liverpool should remain confident going into this run of games. I think that Chelsea game is going to be a really interesting game to see where both sides are at. Both sides, of course, have got new managers. Can Liverpool go through this run of games without Alisson, with Kelleher in the net, and get positive results? I actually think they will go to Leipzig and they will beat them away in Germany. The Arsenal game, you flip a coin. 2 very good defensively sided teams, 2 very well organised teams. Liverpool will probably fancy themselves because Arsenal do concede more goals at the Emirates. If this was at Anfield, I actually would fancy Arsenal to go there and probably get something, because we've seen in recent years, Palace beat them last year, Nottingham Forest have already beaten them this year at Anfield. Liverpool, again, are stronger at home, which is why Chelsea may fancy their chances as well in that game. Brighton away in the Cup, I think they will heavily rotate, as 3 days later they've got Brighton in the league. I actually think, I'm going to be honest, I don't think they will lose to Chelsea or Arsenal. I think they beat Leipzig and Brighton. I think they beat Brighton both games. I think they beat Leipzig. I think they beat Villa's going to be an interesting game as well. They've got, apologies if you can hear me sniffing. This cold is kicking my backside. That's an interesting set of games as well in Leverkusen and Villa. But fortunately for Arsenal, just talking about Arsenal, fortunately for Liverpool, a lot of these tough games are actually at Anfield. Chelsea, Brighton, Leverkusen, Villa, Madrid, City. Liverpool will probably go into all of those games, they're at home, as clear favourites. So I don't think there should be a drop-off whatsoever with Kelleher coming into the team. He's got 16 clean sheets in, 49 games in a Liverpool shirt, or 49 games, which is, 1 clean sheet, every 3 games, which is a very good return. He's made 101 appearances for the club, both at under 18s, under 17, and the first team level. He's made 2 appearances in the Champions League for Liverpool, keeping 1 clean sheet. I think he's now Ireland's #1 goalkeeper. They should be confident going into this. Now, in terms of Liverpool, when Alison comes back, Jurgen Klopp had this as well. If Kelleher goes into the team and has 7 or 8 blinding games, clean sheet against Chelsea, for instance, clean sheet against Leipzig, clean sheet against Arsenal, they win all those games, and he's barely conceding goals by the time the Southampton games comes around after the international break, after they play Villa, do they automatically bring Alisson back in? Because I think it's an interesting situation, because Manchester City have got the same thing with Moreno. Do you just do you play someone who's on electric form, or do you go, no, you're the #1, you're coming straight back in? Let me know your thoughts down below, because I genuinely think that that they will just, regardless of how well he's playing, they will bring they will just bring him straight back in. I also wanted to talk about Ryan Gravenberch. He has really stepped it up this season. I think he's been one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, one of the best midfielders in Europe. The January transfer window is only a few months away. We've got November, December, and then we are there. Do you think Liverpool will go back in for a Zubimendi? There's a few links today linking them to midfielders. I personally think at present they will go in and sign someone. I just don't know if it will be a midfielder. Do you go in and bring in a midfielder to play next to him? I think you could play him and Zubimendi in a double pivot, maybe with McAllister in the 10 or Szoboszlai in the 10. It gives them options there. And they've got abundance of attacking options with Chiesa, Jota, Salah, Nunez, Gakpo, Diaz. You've got so many options. They've got the areas where I think Liverpool will need to improve is another centre-back, probably in January, and then probably another full-back, because as great as as Trent is, Bradley's a good cover, but they don't really have a huge amount of depth for centre-back. Tsimikas is pretty good, but it's a bit of a drop-off for him and Robertson. So a couple of players in January, and we could be talking about this Liverpool team going the whole way, which would be an incredible achievement for Arne Slot's first season to go win the Premier League. Would be an unbelievable an unbelievable campaign from him. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think there will be a significant drop-off? Do you think Kelleher will come in and do the business? I've got a video dropping later today regarding Spurs as well, because we need to go into a deep dive on them at the moment and talk about how and why we have, played 7 games this season and we've only won 3. It's such fine margins in the Premier League, but the Premier League is not forgiving. And if you do not take your chances, you will get beat. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you go down, drop a like if you haven't already. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. The road to 30,000 subscribers is well and truly on. It's going to be a very, very interesting week or so after the international break. The Premier League is back, and the first game back is Tottenham against West Ham. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.